Hello and welcome to County Report this week. I'm Lorna Virgili and thank you for joining us. Coming up in the next half hour, hundreds of MCPS high schoolers take to the streets in protest. More police officers are needed at the county's newest shopping destination. And later, Montgomery College women's soccer team excelled at the national championships. But first, Montgomery County Council unanimously adopted a resolution reaffirming the county's tradition of respect for all residents. County Executive Ike Leggett and members of council gathered at a press event to address community concerns about safety, discrimination, harassment, and hate crimes.
Montgomery County is not like many other parts of this country, but we have seen and we continue to see acts of intimidation and threats against our residents. And that is not something we will tolerate. This gathering today, at this news conference, is designed to send a message out to all of our residents and to all the people who will join us in fighting hatred and bigotry.
Some students from Montgomery Blair High School in Silver Spring staged a walkout and rallied up a protest in response to President-elect Donald Trump.
Instead of being in class on Monday morning, hundreds of Montgomery County Public School students decided to exercise their First Amendment right and protest President-elect Donald Trump.
We're protesting because we don't want Donald Trump as our president. I mean, we can't change that, but we got to let our voices be heard.
And their message:
I am thankful that I live in a community where they value diversity, and not everyone is that lucky. And I want all of them to know that you should feel safe. This is your country as much as it's anybody else's.
We are not here to support the things that he stands for, and we are here to unite and let our voices be heard.
Police at the scene say their main concern was keeping both students and motorists safe.
Thus far, it's been peaceful. We are worried about their safety, as many of them are walking in the roadway. We're trying to advise and urge them to get out of the roadway, up on the sidewalk.
In Silver Spring, I'm Mitty Hicks for County Report This Week.
According to unofficial election results, over 69% of Montgomery County voters said yes to term limits for the offices of County Executive and County Council. The term limits amendment restricts the elected leaders in those offices to no more than 3 consecutive terms.
I thought from the very beginning, when I started collecting signatures well over 18 months ago, that people wanted a change in Montgomery County. We want to make Montgomery County #1 again.
We thought it was very likely that this would pass this time, regardless of any action that the council's taken in the interim. Mr. Ficker started this initiative, I think, particularly a year ago, long time ago. So, clearly, given the tone of the electorate nationally, I think there's a certain amount of trickle-down desire to have new faces in office. I think that's all it means, and that's what they'll get.
A spokesperson with the Montgomery County Board of Elections said the unofficial election results should be certified by December 7th. The Clarksburg outlets opened just a few weeks ago with record numbers. And as the holiday season approaches, more shoppers will be descending upon this new attraction. Susan Kennedy reports on how Montgomery County is preparing for the thousands of shoppers who will head to that area.
Clarksburg Premium Outlets is now...
'Tis the season to expect delays if you plan on heading to Clarksburg to shop at the outlets. It's a fact the new premium outlets at Clarksburg are a hit, and Montgomery County Police are preparing for the influx of folks who will make Clarksburg their shopping destination.
There'll be minimum drain on resources for the 5th District because we'll have these other officers working in a part-time capacity, and they'll be able to work with Simon Properties to be able to make sure that they get people in and out.
This is a new traffic pattern that's going to be there, and we're going to be continually making adjustments, whether it's the light that's at 121 right at the exit off of 270, but we're also going to be working with the management of Simon Premium Outlets to make sure that they're hiring off-duty police officers to be able to alleviate when we're having those heavy traffic congestion days.
Off-duty police officers will be hired by Simon Properties to direct traffic at the outlets throughout the holiday season. Gillespie says that's necessary from an authority standpoint.
The ability for us to utilize part-time officers to handle this traffic plan on the weekends is a tremendous force multiplier for us, because we don't have to allocate those resources where they would just be on stationary post directing traffic. We like to be able to maintain our dedicated staff to handle calls for service and other emergencies that come up throughout the day.
For the grand opening, police worked with state police and highway officials to get shoppers in and out of the mall and to get folks who live in the area home. Councilmember Craig Rice says the key to surviving the holiday rush will be planning and patience.
I would just encourage folks, again, if you're going to the premium outlets, if you're traveling in that area, give yourself extra time. A lot of attention that's being drawn to the area, and so certainly is something where we want to make sure that our folks just pack their patience along with their wallets when they go out to Clarksburg premium outlets.
In Rockville, I'm Susan Kennedy for County Report This Week.
Coming up on County Report This Week, federal funds should pave the way for the restoration of taxiways at the county's Airpark.
And we'll have the story of an American hero and his homecoming. County Report This Week is coming right back. Stay with us.
In Montgomery County, we have a goal to reduce waste and recycle 70% of all waste by 2020. By recycling and reducing waste, we save natural resources and make our community even better. So recycle at home, work, school, everywhere, and keep recycling going. For more information, call the Montgomery County, Maryland Division of Solid Waste Services at 311 or visit montgomerycountymd.gov/recycling.
Keep it going.
Recycle more now.
Get to MC and we'll get you going.
Welcome back to County Report This Week. I'm Lorna Virgili. The latest from MCPS's Board of Education. School will start after the Labor Day holiday next year. According to the calendar, school will start on September 5th and end no later than June 15th. The decision follows Maryland Governor Larry Hogan's executive order that mandates all Maryland public schools to start after Labor Day. MCPS officials say that there are many other items, including professional days and weather school closings, that need to be further analyzed to determine how best to implement instruction. Board members plan on discussing those details in a December 13th board meeting. The crumbling pavement of 2,500 feet of taxiways will be restored when major work begins at Montgomery County Airpark. Phase 1 of the rehabilitation project is set to begin this spring. A federal grant would pay for the improvements. My MC Media's Phyllis Armstrong reports on the airport plans.
Every year, planes take off or land 50,000 times at the Montgomery County Airpark.
As you can see from the taxiway here, there's a lot of repair work and cracking in the pavement itself, which is causing us to redo it.
Nearly $5.5 million in federal funding will end the need for yearly patchwork repairs on the airport's taxiways.
We're digging it out. We're going to completely rebuild it. We're going to rebuild all the connectors to it, and we're putting in a new lighting system with it.
Phase 1 of the project will improve the lighting and taxiways on the north end of the airport, making the experience of using the airport better for general aviation pilots.
Because when you taxi over a surface, you're not kicking up excess debris or chunks of asphalt or anything like that. You're not having to run your wheels over cracks in the pavement.
The FAA grant will also fund installation of a new precision approach system that will help pilots land.
This keeps them at the right height for their distance from the touchdown zone on the runway.
Williams and Miller say the improvements are likely to attract more business flights to the Airpark and increase the nearly $12 million in revenue generated each year.
If it's easier for the businesses to get in and out, then they locate here. And when they locate here, that means jobs. It means jobs to our area and our region and Montgomery County.
The major work at the Airpark is expected to begin this spring and take 6 to 8 months. Phyllis Armstrong in Gaithersburg for County Report This Week.
The Airpark will need additional federal funding to restore taxiways and make other improvements on the southern section of the airport. The Airpark Concerned Citizens Alliance still has some concerns about the safety of jets using an airpark that also has flight training traffic. Actor and humanitarian Gary Sinise helped welcome home a wounded veteran to his new home in Chevy Chase. My MC Media's Sonia Burke reports.
That's right, Lorna. This is the story of an American hero and his homecoming. And it wouldn't have happened without the help of the Gary Sinise Foundation. A police escort through this Chevy Chase neighborhood marks the arrival of United States Army Captain Luis Avila and his family to their new, specially adapted smart home. Captain Avila was serving our country when he was injured by an IED.
He was injured in Afghanistan in 2011, very, very seriously. He's been going through rehabilitation at Walter Reed. He's going to be doing that for years. So we wanted to build this house near Walter Reed.
This specially adapted house with its wide doors, elevator, and even a man cave is controlled by an iPad, and it provides Captain Avila and his family with more independence.
The house is controlled basically by an iPad. You can easily hit a button, the shades come down, the lights change, doors open. Luis is confined to a wheelchair and he's got limited use of his hands because of his traumatic brain injury, but he can press buttons. His wife Claudia is just an amazing champion who's been by his side the whole time, her full-time caregiver. This is going to not only allow Luis to take a little bit better care of himself, but because of that, it'll give her a little bit more independence.
In our previous home, Luis was not able to navigate safely and independent. This home will help Luis to improve faster as he practices every day what he needs to do. He will be able to be free, he won't need no supervision, and he will just restore his pride without all our assistance.
That's why I created my foundation, the Gary Sinise Foundation, in order to give back to our service members. They provide our freedom for us each and every day. To me, every day is Veterans Day because we benefit from what they're doing out there constantly. So to be able to do this, give something back to them, that's a blessing.
In Chevy Chase, I'm Sonia Burke for County Report This Week.
Mana Food Center in Gaithersburg has received more than 10,000 requests from families in need of turkeys for Thanksgiving. Staff from Mana are asking for the community's help with providing more turkeys and food this holiday season, especially since there tends to be a higher demand from people that don't use their services regularly. Staff from both Mana Food and the Montgomery County Coalition for the Homeless say in addition to food, they also are in need of volunteers this holiday season. For more information, go to manafood.org or mcch.net. And also during the holiday season, there are more chances for fires in the kitchen. Fire and rescue officials warned residents to pay close attention while holiday cooking to prevent serious fires. That was the topic this week on the county's Spanish language radio show.
Number one reason why we go to fires is unattended cooking. So we want to remind the residents to make sure that when they're cooking, to make sure not to leave anything unattended. Obviously, with the colder season too coming up, make sure that their appliances, their heating systems are working properly. They've been checked. They've been checked annually to make sure that they're burning off and there's no product, especially carbon monoxide, being produced.
Residents are also reminded to make sure smoke alarms are in good operating condition. Coming up on County Report this week, Tobytown residents celebrate the implementation of a new ride-on bus route in their neighborhood. And Montgomery College is assisting students to complete the FAFSA form. Those stories and more when we return.
invited to Montgomery County's premier social event, the 31st Annual Executives Ball 2016. Movers, shakers, builders, makers. Sunday, December 4th at the North Bethesda Marriott. Celebrate 31 years of support for the arts and humanities. RSVP and purchase raffle tickets online for your chance to win a Toyota Corolla. Attendance is not required to win. All proceeds benefit arts and humanities organizations. We'll see you on December 4th.
Welcome back to County Report This Week. I'm Lorna Virgili. Financial obstacles can be discouraging to many students when considering colleges. That is why completing the FAFSA application and doing it right could mean thousands of dollars to help pay for college. Carolina Galeano has the story.
Students seeking financial aid for higher education should note the new changes made to the free application for federal student aid, better known as FAFSA. Now that last year's tax information can be automatically retrieved, students and parents were able to complete the process in one sitting during Montgomery College's FAFSA Fever event.
What we're doing with FAFSA Fever is basically giving students and their parents the help they need to start, number one, getting their FAFSA ID, which is like an electronic signature that you need to sign the FAFSA, and then help starting the FAFSA, completing it. And what we're providing is computer labs and assistants. We have assistants in several languages in case people need, to have interpreters, and basically to get everybody started.
Yes. The federal government will now allow students to apply as early as October instead of January. In addition, students will be able to use earlier income and tax information, which means that if you plan to attend college in 2017 to 2018, you'll use 2015's tax information. For parents and students who participated, the event proved to be effective.
It was great. I really enjoyed it. The personnel, the work, it was so helpful. Every question that I asked, they reply and then explain us why. It made the whole process very welcoming and smooth, and we have a great experience. We finished all the papers that we need to finish.
I came here today because, just as for me, my mom was also interested in me getting financial aid, so we came to seek any type of support that we need, because it's always important to not mess up, because I heard when applying for FAFSA you always have to be very detailed in all of your personal information to receive as much benefits as you can.
Assistance is not limited to this event, so if you are a high school student, visit your school's Career Center for support. MC students can find help at each campus, but remember, the sooner you do it, the better off you'll be. For County Report This Week, in Rockville, I'm Carolina Galeano.
After years of pushing for public transportation access, the historic community of Tobytown finally has ride-on bus service. Residents and local officials celebrated the launch of the one-year pilot program. My MC Media's Maureen Chaudhary reports.
Go!
At a ribbon-cutting ceremony, residents and local officials celebrate the launch of the long-awaited ride-on bus service to Tobytown. Before Route 301, residents had to walk nearly 3 miles to get to the nearest bus stop, which is located on Trevilla Road. And since its launch, the bus service hasn't disappointed, exceeding ridership expectations with more than 50 people using the service daily.
The ridership is more than our expectation. So that is an indication that this route is successful. This service is actually coincide with the vision of the department, and it provides the choices for this community, and it's going to help the economy because people will be able to get the bus and go to work, those who doesn't have a personal vehicle, and also those who don't want to go in a single occupancy car, so they can take the bus. And I think it's a win-win for everybody.
This was a lot of dollars to provide this service, but the bottom line is some things don't pencil out, but that doesn't mean that they're not the right thing to do.
A lot of people now, they have jobs because of the bus. They can get in and out now. My daughter started working, my nephews, the one that was riding the bike, he catches the first bus out and the last bus back in. So it's changed a lot. People can get back and forth to the doctor's offices and different things. So it's been wonderful.
I love the bus. I feel like we're connected to the world almost now. It's like we're no more, like we're not isolated anymore. Because at first it feels isolated. Once you're here, it's like you're here. only way out was the school bus, and then you go straight home from the school bus because no one's there to take you back home. But now there's a ride-on bus. It's really nice.
In Potomac, I'm Maureen Chaudhry for County Report This Week.
The 1940 mural of Sugarloaf Mountain by Judson Smith that greets visitors at the Rockville City Police Headquarters has a fresh and vibrant look after a recent conservation project by Hartman Fine Art Conservation Services. Check this out.
In this case, this is a painting that is painted on canvas that is glued to the wall. This painting was painted in 1938, and it's oil paint on canvas. And this was produced as a WPA mural. The federal government paid for this because this was a federal government building. And in this case, the major problems with the piece was that it had a lot of soot on the surface. The air handlers up top were spitting out black soot. It might have been coal dust, might have been coal or exhaust coming in through the windows. We've cleaned the painting and we have varnished the painting, and then there were some losses. There were some nail holes through the painting, there were some scratches. So we have to match those colors exactly. We have to match the sheen, we have to match the texture. We have cleaned this with tiny little Q-tips and swabs with chemicals, and in this case, detergents, because it was primarily dirt. We don't necessarily want the artwork to look like the day it came out of the artist's studio, because maybe a frame has aged, its finish has aged, just like bronze sculptures. That some of them are turning green. Well, that's supposed to be there. It's not a corrosion product that should come off. So it shouldn't look like the day that the artist necessarily put it out. It's 100 years old. We're not making the painting look any better than the frame. They all should look like they belong together, and that they've been hanging on your grandmother's wall for the past 75 years and not in your grandmother's barn. So in this case, fortunately, nobody had cleaned it. There was only a little bit of paint spatter on it. So we were the first ones to work on it, and it is a beautiful mural. It really is.
Coming up next on County Report This Week, we take you all the way to New Jersey to check out how the Montgomery College women's soccer team did at the national championships. And get ready for a favorite holiday tradition. Winter lights are going up in 2 local parks. Stay with us. County Report This Week. We'll be right back.
Here's your chance to save money and help the environment. Bring your reusable bag when you shop and you'll save 5 cents for every store bag you don't need. Retailers in Montgomery County charge 5 cents for the plastic or paper bags they provide. Why? Because plastic bags are the biggest single source of stream and waterway litter, causing pollution and flooding. And every year, Montgomery County spends $3 million on cleanup. So do yourself and the environment a favor. Bring your reusable bag when you shop. You'll fight litter and keep the change.
A message about protecting your pipes and ours from WSSC.
Welcome back to County Report This Week. I'm Lorna Virgili. The Montgomery College women's soccer team traveled to the NJCAA D3 National Championships at Ocean County College in Tom River, New Jersey. MCTV's Michael Brown was along to chronicle the action.
The Raptors were the second seed in the field of 8, and in their opener they took on Nassau from New York. MC controlled pace from the outset, and 40 minutes in they struck when Brittany Schultz beat the keeper to the ball. MC made it 2-0 at the half when Ariella Amaguana hit Claire Couturier in front of the goal. Nassau tied it early in the second half, but that seemed to open the floodgates as the Raptors netted 5 in the last 20 minutes, including 3 from Amaguana and 2 from Jocelyn Flores, to advance to the semis with a 7-2 win. In the semis, MC faced third seed Erie of New York. Erie jumped out to a quick 2-0 lead, but the Raptors battled back as Stefania Madrano cut it to 2-1 at the half. MC tied it early in the second half when Natalie Alvear hit Amaguana and she outraced everyone for the score. And it stayed tied the rest of the way, forcing overtime. But after 2 OT periods, it was still 2-2, meaning penalty kicks would decide the winner. The Raptors and Erie each made their first 2, but when MC missed, Erie took the lead. A beautiful save by MC keeper Jennifer Pineda gave the Raptors hope, but Erie clinched it on their next shot to take a 4-3 lead and crush the Raptors' dream of a national championship. After the loss in the semis, the Raptors took on 4th seed the Brookhaven Bears in the third-place game. MC led early, but Brookhaven tied it. MC went up 2-1, but Brookhaven again evened it at the half. MC grabbed a 3-2 lead early in the second half, but the Bears again knotted things before taking control to score the final 2 of the match to take third place with a 5-3 win. The Raptors were disappointed, but what a terrific season. They finished 17-3-1. They won Maryland JUCO, Region 20, District H, and finished 4th in the country. By any yardstick, this was a season to celebrate turned in by a superior group of young women. For County Report this week from Montgomery College, I'm Michael Brown.
The county's Department of Recreation is offering hundreds of activities to remain active during the winter months, and you can find them all in the Winter Recreation Guide. Registration for winter programs and classes is open, and there is a wide range of classes, special events, and sports for residents of all ages. To begin using Active Montgomery, you must set up a new customer account at activemontgomery.org. You can find the winter guide online at montgomerycountymd.gov/rec or by calling 240-777-6840. The City of Gaithersburg's Winter Lights Festival is celebrating its 21st spectacular year. Crews started putting up the lights back in October at Great Seneca State Park. As you drive through the 3.5-mile festival, you will discover lights strung high on the trees and on floating docks in the water. The park is located on Cloper Road. The festival officially opens for the season on November 25th. For admission fees and hours of operation, visit the City of Gaithersburg's website. And it's also that time of the year when Brookside Gardens lights up for the holidays. Here are some details of what you can expect.
Our annual Garden of Lights winter walk-through holiday light display will begin right after Thanksgiving. If you haven't been here before, let me tell you it's a spectacular event. Visitors will enjoy walking through the gardens with close to 1 million colorful lights, all shaped in imaginative displays. Everything ranging from giant flowers to animals, an 11-foot giraffe. We even have a mythical sea monster that we call Nessie. At the conservatory, we'll have a miniature train exhibit running through a holiday display of poinsettias, flowering plants, and evergreens. And then also up in the visitor center, there are volunteer musicians performing every night of the show. So come to the Garden of Lights and enjoy all that we have to offer.
The Garden of Lights will be open until January 1st. For more information about admission, visit the Brookside Gardens website. And now it's time to meet our Pet of the Week. Kathy Stanhope joins us from the Montgomery County Animal Services and Adoption Center with more. Kathy?
This is Sebastiano, and he's just about 3 years old. He was found as a stray, and he's ready to be adopted now, and he is about as cute of a little dog as I've ever seen. I think he's only about 6 pounds, all sorts of lively, but just really, really sweet. And my guess is he's a bit of a Pomeranian Chihuahua mix, is I think definitely what he is, but he's a love. Please give us a call at 240-773-5900 or visit Sebastiano on the web at montgomerycountymd.gov/ASD.
And with that, we close this edition of County Report This Week. Remember to like us on Facebook and to join us again at this time every week for a look at what's going on inside Montgomery County. I'm Lorna Virgili, and thank you for watching.